Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Dillon Dialogue. I'm sitting here with Mayor Kevin Burns to my right, and is that right? Yes. And to my left, Mayor Pro Tem Luis Govera. How are you guys today?
Doing great. How are you, man?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I wanted to use that line partially because my daughter Hannah B has started watching Mr. Rogers, but then you threw on a cardigan today, so I was like, I gotta bust out the Mr. Rogers.
You might have to be careful.
So.
That could be trademarked for all we know.
Wow,
I'm not saying it is.
We'll talk to the producer. We'll talk to the producer after the show. They handle all the legal stuff. So happy holidays, guys. You get all your shopping done and everything looking good now? Me
not
either.
Close.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing after this segment. So.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, listen, this is our last episode of the 2014 year. We're coming at you in high definition, I think, right? All right, we are. I got the high definition thumbs up. And we thought it might be a nice little thing, just kind of recap. We've had a pretty eventful year in a lot of different regards in Dillon, and thought we might just kind of revisit what 2014 brought us. So
absolutely.
Take it away.
So I think, when looking at 2014, one of the first things that comes to my mind about sort of what Dillon was up to was we had a couple of big exciting hires. Our new town manager, Tom Breslin, who's been on the job since, June?
June sounds right.
Yeah. And then our police chief, Mark Hemminghouse, who was hired around the same time, a little bit beforehand. Yeah. And to me, those were two great additions to the town of Dillon, and have really helped us, finish out a really strong, kind of see us through a really strong year. And I've been tremendously excited for the months that we've been, working with them. How about yourself, Louis?
Yeah, no, it seems like a great fit so far. I really feel lucky that we have a chance to have both Tom Breslin and Mark Hemminghouse in-house in our staff. In two pretty critical roles. So, like you said, Mayor, the chief came on maybe a month or two prior to Tom.
That sounds right.
I
think Tom came on the first week of July, and I think that chief was a couple months.
Prior to that, and we've really noticed a great adjustment in our police department. We're getting nothing but compliments these days about all of our officers' handling of different situations. Everything from simple traffic stops, out on the highway there. We have a lot of interactions out there, and then the new towing policies that have been implemented have been. I get compliments. Heck, just the other week, a friend of mine parked where he should have been towed, and was let off with a warning instead. And that's a sort of welcoming environment that certainly we want to encourage in Dillon. And then Tom coming on. I think you're right, Matt, about Tom coming on in mid-July, and he's the leader of the staff. He's running the show, and his influence has been felt already, even just in a couple months. So again, I feel super lucky to work with these guys. I feel really fortunate that we've had the opportunity to bring them on, and I think they're a very positive influence to our staff.
And like you said, in very key positions. So now that we've got these roles filled, it's time to move forward, and we've got some good leadership at the helm. So that's great. I see the second thing on here is actually successful summer events, and I just want to kind of parlay that with Chief Hemminghouse. Working with his staff this summer at the concerts was just terrific. So that really, we did have a great year, and so having him on board has been great. But we did have a couple of fun concerts, didn't we?
Yeah,
good summer season.
Yeah, we wanted to add that in to kind of butter you up a little bit, Matt. So
hey, thanks.
The viewers at home should know, of course, you're the man in charge of all that great.
Trust me, I need help. You need to help me look good. Please, I need all the help I can get.
So one of the things that I think really stood out, certainly for me, and I think for a lot of folks, was sort of the expansion of some of the bigger programming that we do in town. In kind of increasing the number of kind of big concerts, and really putting together some sort of marquee programming, that complements and is sort of in addition to a lot of the regular sort of Fridays and Saturdays and the programming that you have around town. And I'd just be kind of curious, since we have you right here, how you felt all that went, and how you felt like all did Was your vision met for the summer?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and you know, it's interesting because it's not really just a summer vision, I don't think. When I came on, this was my third season, you know, kind of helping out with the programming down at the amphitheater. Year one, we brought in David Grisman, which was a pretty big show. Year two, we brought in The Machine, which was the Pink Floyd tribute. And then this year, we brought The Machine back. We brought in Dark Star Orchestra, which was just, you know, gangbusters. So, you know, I've seen it as a slow evolution, and I'm excited for what the future holds. I mean, to me, it's just going to hopefully keep getting bigger and better. You know, I mean, it's such a beautiful venue. I want people that haven't come on out. I want people to come up from Denver specifically for a concert. People to come over from Breckenridge. You know, I mean, I want the whole county to come hang out at the Dillon Amphitheater, and then, you know, hang out in Dillon afterwards because we got a nice little spot over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, to piggyback on all those thoughts there, I think your staff, Matt, and then of course, like you said, Mayor, the chief and his staff really ought to be commended on managing this growth appropriately. So you just sort of talked about the steady growth that the events have seen in the summer. We're inviting more and more people to Dillon every year, and that's good. That's good for everybody. And we have done that again this season specifically. Without being terribly impactful for all the residents of town. So I know your department and then also the chief and the police department have a very strong relationship with the Lake Cliff condominiums that are literally on the front line there of the amphitheater. They are right there to hear and see everything, and for them to be complimentary of bringing thousands and thousands of people to town every weekend, I think that says a lot about you guys, your handling, and the chief as well in his handling.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you. You know, I'd be remiss to not also thank the Dillon Business Association and the Lake Dillon Theater Company, because not only those organizations specifically involved, they also bring out a volunteer base that also helps execute those events, and they're spectacular. So as much as I deserve credit, thank you. I also need to. Well, no, I'm not saying I deserve credit, Mr. Mayor, but he's giving it to me. I'm trying. Oh, geez. Hey, producer, edit that part out. Matt's modesty. Yes, no, I am thanking those guys sincerely.
Yeah. Great. So we did talk a lot about the amphitheater there.
I'm staring you down.
Certainly knocked the amphitheater season out of the park this summer, and then, you know, a successful summer event season beyond that as well. All the weekly events. At the
our farmers market keeps growing and growing. You know, my event coordinator Matt Lope, I've had to like reel him in, because if it was up to him, he would have 250 vendors at that thing. I'm like, dude. You know, let's just focus on what we got.
Well, as it is, we have one of the largest.
It is, and we're between 100 and 120, depending on our drop-in program. And I mean, it's everything from fresh produce all the way to, you know, little girls' hair dangly things. So if you need it, you can find it at the Dillon Farmers Market. That's for sure. So and we're definitely busy, you know, planning ahead for 2015. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll have some gangbuster stuff going on for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So speaking of, I think there's some viewers out here who know that. But you mentioned Matt Lope, and he was obviously involved in an accident earlier. I don't know if it was discussed on this program, but I think most of the viewers who watch our show know that, you know, we live in a tight knit community. They know that happened, and he's been back at work. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's been working for me. He only generally works for me seasonally, and then he's got a winter job. But he's been helping out, and he's been working his winter job. And he's expecting to come back next summer full time, and I'm looking forward to having him. So
it'll be great to see to see his face back and running the farmers market and all that. Not that we mind you, but you know,
give Matt Lope the credit. He does a spectacular job on that one. All right, he deserves the credit. All right, moving on. Disc golf is the next note that the mayor wrote down in his fine penmanship. I want to say yesterday I actually went out and took a hike on the Oro Grande Trail with a buddy of mine. Yeah. And he's a big disc hucker.
Yeah.
And we're walking up. Have you seen this? Have you been out there at all or no?
Not for quite a while.
So we walk up like 100 yards or so, and he starts pointing out the holes and stuff. Like, that's a legit disc golf course.
Yeah, it's really cool. It was a successful rollout of the Lake Dillon Disc Golf Course. We've talked about that plenty here.
Yeah, it's above the cemetery, if you're not familiar with where it is, just off the Oro Grande Trail. But yeah, like he was showing, there's a hole number 8 that comes down with that big descent off the tee box.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That's actually what drew our eye to that location in the first place. You can see that it's a bluff about 100 foot high, but you can see that bluff from the highway, and it sort of visually draws you in, like, man, that'd be kind of cool to huck a disc from up there. But yeah, so it was a really successful start to the program out there. We'll have a more permanent installation come summer of 2015. But as you probably noticed, well, you're saying that you saw the baskets out there. You can still get out there and play around a disc golf at the Lake Dillon Disc Golf Course. We're giving that a whirl this winter. We're going to see what happens, leaving it up. And I've been out there a couple times myself over the last couple months. Heck, it was so nice 2-3 weeks ago. You couldn't help but get out.
It's been nice for like 2-3 weeks, I feel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I've noticed there's tons of traffic out there. There are tracks everywhere, so people are enjoying that. And I think it's just a great amenity that we as a town can provide to the community. And what a cool partnership. Again, you've heard us talk about this plenty on this program, but what a cool partnership between Town of Dillon, funding the course, and then using Summit County lands and Denver water lands. So to get to the table with those two entities is a pretty cool achievement for the Town of Dillon.
Sweet.
So refresh my memory, which this is obviously a multi-phase project. Which what's been completed so far, and what do we still have to kind of do in the coming years?
Yeah. So you're right. We talked about it as a multi-phase project. So what we have out there right now, we have a practice basket right off the parking area, and then we have an 18-hole course. Those baskets are, the real deal. They're in their right places and everything. As it stands right now, we have temporary tee pads, so they're just sort of improved flat areas from which to throw. Next summer, we hope to have permanent signage and then the more permanent concrete tee pads out there. So it's the course is pretty much as is. You'll find wayfinding to be much easier.
I did notice there were a couple of signs up there actually, and again, because that was something that I wasn't sure of. Well, listen, we've been joking about credit and stuff. I think we probably owe Public Works Department some credit in doing all that, right?
I was just going to say
and then you also had a volunteer base as well. Is that right?
Yeah, we had a good volunteer corps of locals, just friends of ours, and then the Public Works Department in Dillon really ran with this one. Scott O'Brien, of course, runs that department, and his grounds foreman, Zach, was really instrumental in getting all that put together. Zach and a bunch of his guys were out there this summer schlepping some of the heavier stuff around. So we couldn't have done it without those guys, and those signs that you saw were all just sort of an arts and crafts project on Zach's free time. So cheers. Good stuff.
I'll say one of the things, besides the value of the disc golf course itself, one of the things I really liked about this project was, as you mentioned, the collaborative effort between the town and then a volunteer base. As you find this group of people who are really passionate about doing something, and then you can figure out ways for the town and these folks to work together to really create something. And it's very visible already, and there's going to be kind of more in there. It's going to become this really nice built up thing, and that's it's a great way to sort of harness the passion in the community. And I think it's an awesome blueprint for a lot of what the town's doing and can be doing.
Sure.
And I think it's something that especially in the last couple of years, we've I think it's safe to say the town's kind of come to embrace more and more, and I think that's it shows that something like this can be is really feasible and can be made possible by not necessarily one group or the other, but when you bring both together, it's just really cool to see kind of happen. So
and I think that having that volunteer base come out kind of shows that, hey, this was a really good idea. The town of Dillon wants this. The residents in Dillon, Summit Cove, all of Summit County are down to come on out and help out because they want to see this happen. I run our Instagram page, and I've got people posting photos that have come up from Denver for the afternoon. So it's happening, and people want it. So that's cool.
Great.
So I agree. Just kind of echo what you're saying. That utilizing that volunteer base is just kind of lines us up for the future for other cool ideas. So in 2016, the clubhouse goes in. 2017, the swimming pool and tennis courts.
You know it, absolutely.
It'll be the Lake Dillon Disc Golf and Country Club.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, maybe not. Don't call the mayor. 9703. No. Yeah. No. Okay. Maybe not. What's next on the list?
I think the clubhouse would be cool. I don't know.
Clubhouse would be cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk to Denver Water and Summit County, and we'll see where we get with that.
Some people just don't belong.
Okay. Next on the agenda is something that has been readily talked about in 2014, and that's marijuana regulations.
Yep.
Let's talk about it once more and then never again.
It'll be interesting to see if this can be the last time we talk about it. I have a feeling that's never going to be quite ever done.
Agreed.
But it's, I'm really happy to say that, Dillon's gone through a really kind of thoughtful, involved process as we're looking at our, at our own town's marijuana regulations, and that we're, we kind of reached the end point that we've been having some licensing hearings, and I think we're anticipating that there's going to be some shops, a shop or two opening up either at the end of this year or beginning of next year. So that's sort of the, the end point of a pretty long process that both the Mayor Pro Tem and myself were involved with since basically we got on town council.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is nice to sort of be coming to an end of all those conversations. I mean, heck, we've spent hours and hours, public forums, in our town council sessions, everything.
I was going to say that because I know that this can be a bit of a touchy subject for some folks, and a lot of times in politics and in your community, things like this come up. I just want to remind people that at every town council meeting, you can come out, you have 5 minutes to make a citizen comment, you can talk about anything you want. The town council will not actually address you, but you are welcome to address them and let them know. And then this year, we haven't planned the dates for next year, but this year we did hold 4 community chats as well, which were just open forums for the public to come out. So by all means, go to townofdillon.com. This stuff is out there, the information is there, and we encourage getting this feedback.
Yeah, I love the pitch for involvement. That's that's how we got to the regulations with the marijuana that we have now.
Very critical in this, certainly for me, and I think you probably echo this, is we did have a special community forum just on this topic, and had a lot of citizens coming out and voicing their opinions on what's too close to residential zoning, what's kind of the right area of the town to have one of these shops in, do you want them in at all, and kind of going through that. And that for me was a pretty important guiding piece as we were moving forward. And it was thanks to that sort of citizen involvement that I think that we really were able to pretty confidently move forward on a lot of these regulations and craft something that made a lot of sense for the town of Dillon. And I think that I think there's always diversity of opinion, but primarily what I hear is that we took our time and did something that was pretty thoughtful and smart, and is going to be beneficial for the town as we open up the doors for more entrepreneurs in the town, for more small business owners, and hopefully to help improve our sales tax numbers and be able to do cool, kind of exciting projects for the town of Dillon with those. So.
And a lot of credit on this one would go to Ned West, town planner, who has been working, I want to say, for like 2 years, hammering this stuff out. Some of these spreadsheets that he has pulled together, I look at them, it's like, wow.
They fold over like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. So credit to him on this one.
Yeah. No, I like the word that the mayor used a couple times there, thoughtful. Thoughtful. That's responsible, thoughtful, maybe responsive to the desires of our community. We had the election now. It's 2 years ago, I suppose, was the Amendment 64 election. The numbers we got back for our constituents were 73% of our constituents were in favor of Amendment 64. Like you said, Mayor, we then held the public forum to sort of double check that to see where we were at, and it was nice to see the public forum numbers fall right in line with the results of the amendment a couple years ago now. So yeah, what you'll see in Dillon here, like the mayor said, at the end of this year or the start of next year, is what the people of Dillon wanted, and we're happy to roll that out. It's very exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, we got a couple of things left on 2014, but I'm going to hold them till after the commercial.
All right.
Because we've got new pictures behind us. The beautiful Gore range, of course, Buffalo Red. You got the Thorn over here. These cost money. We got to plug our sponsors.
That's right.
Even though that's not what happens during the commercial.
That's right. So, maybe we can think of some more Caddyshack quotes while we're at it.
I thought that was a Bushwood reference, but I didn't want to go there. So, hey, we're going to be right back after this. Hey, welcome back. The last edition of Dillon Dialogue 2014, and we just had hair
I'm
and
glad you said
makeup.
of 2014 because for a second I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Like,
I thought you were going out with a bang there for a second.
Oh no, gee, Lord, no! And you missed
Flip the table
you missed
over.
my hair and makeup joke.
Yeah.
But no, there's no rebellion going on just yet. All right, so where were we? We were just kind of wrapping up last year, and I guess we were talking about the events. So we've had our winter events kind of going on. We had our lighting of Dillon, which was December the 4th at the Dillon Community Church, and that was just terrifically well attended. I think that we estimated between 500 and 600 people. And while we're saying our thank you, it makes me feel real good. Like we're saying thank you. The Dillon Community Church community was hugely instrumental in pulling that event off, and so I personally thank you guys very much for all that help, and of course Mr. and Mrs. Claus, Pug Ryan's, the Lake Dillon Tavern, all came out and helped out. Colorado Mountain College and Alpine Bank were there. You guys were there.
it's
there.
not the holiday season until we get that traditional Christmas hot dog.
Yeah, I tell you, you're not kidding. And we ran out like that. I mean, the hot dogs went like hot cakes. I mean, it was not.
But
you need
there
to
were a
get
lot of
there
great
early.
partners for that.
So,
And
absolutely,
it's a cool event.
So-
You see everyone kind of come together.
And then kind of
something that's really fun.
parlaying off of that, the Dillon Business Association rolls into their Festival of Lights. We've actually got one bonfire left. They do a bonfire every Friday, the 3 Fridays leading up to Christmas in Dillon Town Park. They've got Christmas carolers. Santa Claus makes an appearance. There's hot chocolate. They do a little puppet show down at the Lake Dillon Theater Company at 5 that's free for all the kids and the families. And then you can just walk down to the park and the fire department comes out, they help out. And so this Friday the 19th will be the last one at 5:30 in Dillon Town Park. So,
But if you're going through the archives and watching this in July, just know that only a few months away, you'll be able to partake in the 2015 bonfires.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What time is Caddy Swim?
1 to 1:15. Right.
Sounds good. All right.
Cheers
So
in his eyes, I guess.
down at the marina, we've been hard at work. Well, maybe not us personally,
No,
but
yeah,
others.
yeah,
not a drop of
Others have,
sweat.
Yeah.
others have.
The hard workers hard
Yes.
at work. That's
Well, what have we been doing? Okay, go.
Sure.
Enough funny business here. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Marina Park. I'm sure many of you have been down there to see the improvements over the course of the fall and early winter. But the parking lot's been paved. Something we hear about all the time. People want that parking lot paved. Done. Got that done. And then the Marina Park itself, right there by the playground, right by the Marina Park Pavilion, just underwent a facelift as well.
Looks
And
really cool.
It looks really cool. Yeah, and that's, we still have a great deal of landscaping to come as well. But yeah, the earthworks improvements there, right on the corner, right off the bike path between the mast stepping station and the Marina Park Pavilion. Yeah, Scott O'Brien and his guys.
What is a
really,
mast stepping station?
That's where
Do you know what that is?
you should ask the boating guy.
Well, you keep the mast and your sailboat down over the course of the winter, and to get
I don't
that
have
big
a
thing back
sail
up.
Yeah.
boat. Oh, so
think
it's where you put your
Yeah,
mast.
exactly.
Gotcha.
You're not just going to lift, sit there and pull it on up. I'm not going to, at least. I doubt you would.
Oh, so there's like a crane.
yeah, exactly. It's a
Gotcha.
hoist system.
Gotcha.
But anyways, yeah.
It's a
cool
mast
kid's called
hoisting.
a mast stepper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
you're saying
you can
I'm
see
not
how
a
cool
cool
we are
kid?
over
Yeah,
here.
exactly. I agree.
that was the not so subtle implication.
Yes.
Turning subtext into text.
Listen,
The
I don't
Dillon
want to
Dialogue
flip
promise.
the table. Okay, keep insulting me, and I might just flip this gosh darn table. So yeah, no, you're right though. The Marina Park improvements have been terrific. I don't know, there are some landscaping things that need to be completed, and I think weather dependent come this spring, early summer. It's going to take a little bit. I think that our beer festival, which kind of kicks off our summer, is actually going to take place in the parking lot this year. But it's going to be a great teaser because you're going to see the park. And then hopefully, I think by July 4th is kind of the hope that we'll just pull back the construction fence and the kids will live the dream.
I think so.
Absolutely.
It's really a nice space. It's really going to tie the North Shore of the lake together.
We'd be remiss without
I heard the
having a
producer
North
laugh in the
Shore.
background.
Yeah, we gotta pull the North Shore of Dillon
One of these days it's going to catch on. It's going to be a new tagline.
I think we need to take the ball and run with it. 2015 is a new year. That could be one of the things we really try to push out. Is the North Shore.
North Shore, yeah.
Well, speaking of things that we want to, potentially roll out, Louis mentioned the North Shore. We'll come back to you in a second.
Please take your time.
I want you to brainstorm how you can really bring this North Shore to fruition. But Mr. Mayor, what do you see in the future? You got a couple of goals for 2015 in the town?
Yeah. So and we've talked about this on this program and a lot of others, but there's a lot of immediate needs, replacing the water tank, a lot of some of the capital improvements, some of the continuing work that started in 2014 that we've already talked about in this show. But but there's a couple things that I think that we've been working on, as a town, and that are hopefully going to, whether it's 2015, whether it's a little bit down the road, that I personally am certainly really interested in. One of my main passions is developing workforce housing. I'm actually the representative for the housing authority for the town of Dillon, and for me, one of the things I'd love to see is whether it's 2015 or 2016, sometime in the next few years, is some kind of workforce housing development happen in the town of Dillon. I think whether it's in in existing land, whether it's finding a way to find new land for the town of Dillon, I think there's some tremendous opportunities out there, and I think it's something that our constituents expect us to do. These are publicly funded programs. There was a countywide ballot question that passed a few years ago, and it's something that there really should be a priority for the town for a number of reasons. I think it's the right. When you think about what are towns supposed to do, I think that I think that this kind of supporting middle class families to be able to live and work here in our beautiful home is something that's sort of an imperative for us. And I think that has incredible benefits. It creates density, which helps attract new businesses into town. It creates these opportunities for growth and for sort of creating a vitality in the town of Dillon as you bring in a lot of cross sections of different folks into the area. And for me, I'm in this case, I'm not actually speaking for the entirety of council or for whatever an official policy is, but I'm certainly want to be hard at work and really push through something like that. And as I said, hopefully it's 2015, maybe it's not, but that's kind of one of my passions, and it's one of the reasons that I ran for mayor in April. I guess another thing that happened in 2014.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that one.
It was on that list.
That was up to him to.
You'll notice that I did not write that on the card, but
we didn't get to the bottom.
Can
you read any of this? I can't really make out any of it. So
the pen was
Mayor. Blame it on the pen. Well, cool. Anything else?
Yeah, I think that, and this is something we have talked about in the show a little bit in the past, but I'm really excited about the idea of developing some sort of art center in Dillon, something for the community, hopefully something involving partnerships with existing community members. But I think that there's, one of the things that our town council has done is we're looking through all these past studies and things that say how are you supposed to develop the town of Dillon, where we have kind of an unusual situation. It was laid out the town configuration is a little bit different than some of our surrounding neighbors. And one of the things that was really hit on was you have to create sort of hubs of activity, and it seems like one of the kind of biggest no-brainers is for the town to facilitate some kind of arts-driven community hub. There's a lot of, seems like there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of there are great arts in the town of Dillon, and if we can harness that and really create sort of a premier world-class attraction, then we can foster a lot of growth. Again, we can support. We can support the Dillon arts community that already exists, and then we can find, it's a great way to draw in people to do those things we've been talking about, to do all the economic revitalization that we want, to create sort of these amenities for our citizens, to create a sort of a unique feel for the town of Dillon, to foster all that stuff that seems to be the role of town government. And I think that's I think it's a doable thing. We actually have some money in our 2015 budget in order to start that kind of process, and we're sort of looking to see how it's all going to get tied together. But I think that's something that we're all pretty serious about seeing happen. So,
Absolutely.
Do you want to continue that, or?
Well, I could answer your question.
I'm not a TV show host. I only play one on TV.
Yeah, certainly agree with everything that the mayor said. Those are some really big picture and really exciting ideas that we've all talked about on council, and certainly are supportive of. Absolutely. But to answer your question,
and from the staff level too. But I was just teasing you. What do you want to do? 2015 is a long year,
Sure.
So we got time.
Yeah. So a couple things I'm really looking forward to. So as many of you are aware of, I'm the council representative on our Parks and Rec department, Parks and Rec Advisory Committee, I should call it, not department. At any rate, we have a couple of pretty exciting projects on the horizon in that realm. So first and foremost would be the town park redevelopment. So it's something that we've been talking about for years. We have quite a bit of money committed to it over the next probably 3, 4, 5 years. And we also had a public forum maybe about a year ago now on what we want the town park right in the heart of downtown Dillon to look like. That's something we're going to be jumping into in depth here first thing this spring. So design and layout of, again, what we want our town park to look like. I'm really excited about that. I love our town park. I'm out there pretty regularly throwing frisbees around or just sort of hanging out. It's used a lot more than you might realize. When we first got elected a few years ago, the mayor and I didn't really know all the activity that went on there, but between the volleyball and the baseball and heck, just people just sort of enjoying the green space, the Summer's Festival in the park,
playground equipment,
the tennis courts, heck, horseshoes. You got all these things going on there.
Tennis ball doubles as pickleball.
And pickleball, excuse me.
As a former member of the advisory committee, I'd be remiss if I didn't say there was the bocce ball courts.
Bocce ball,
absolutely.
Yep, Rick, we love your bocce ball for sure. It's already a nice space. We're looking forward to making it something that's even more accessible to more people, utilized by more folks. So those of you who are at the public forum, expect the layout to look a lot like what we all decided on. So it was something that we all voted on, individual parts, and it should be a pretty exciting process. So looking forward to that. And then sort of in keeping with that theme and getting back to the North Shore, I do believe that what makes Dillon different than everybody else is the North Shore Lake Dillon. That's what we have that no other community really anywhere has. And I look forward to seeing how we step that up another level. So that's in your world with the amphitheater, certainly. That's with Bob Evans down at the marina and Shannon down at the marina and all their staff. They continue to step it up down there. New boats, new offerings, the stand-up paddle boarding. It's all about bringing people to the lake for different reasons, and the more offerings that we can provide, I think the better off the town will be. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that Marina Park come together.
Yeah, you mentioned the stand-up paddleboard. That's a huge thing from 2014. That was first year we had it last year or this year, but moving forward, I know that we could see that evolve into something really great. Like you mentioned, the amphitheater. And that's where I get passionate about it because it makes me feel good to see that place full of people enjoying themselves.
It's really cool, and I think that's how we succeed going forward. That on top of that, the mayor's concept of an arts center, arts facility, and the affordable housing, all those things, and you
they'll kind of feed together. Because a couple of times you said, this will generate revenue, it'll generate jobs, it'll help entrepreneurs. I mean, all of these different components come together to make the whole.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's important to remind ourselves, and then it's also kind of key to understanding what the decision making process is for the town of Dillon. Is that each piece of what we do, whether it's as basic as replacing the water tank or putting up some new signage, or whether it's this more broad concept stuff or anything in between. It's every little piece has to be able to work together in order to create a better community, to be able to meet the needs of our citizens, to be able to be self-sustaining and be fiscally responsible, do all that stuff that's kind of expected of us, and And you're absolutely right. Whether you're trying to attract more families into town, whether it's about improving marina facilities, whether it's about kind of building out that North Shore, whether it's about providing new, new hubs of activity in the town. That's one individual piece of that never works if you just focus on that. Everything has to kind of work together. You have to be able to do all these things at the same time and move everything forward in order to be able to make it all be successful. And I think that's it's something that I certainly have to remind myself in this in this role, is that just isolating one piece and just focusing on that isn't going to create success. You have to be able to sort of look at everything cohesively, and that's I think that we have a council that's really keen on doing that, and I think we have a staff that understands that, and I think that's key to a lot of the success that the town of Dillon's recently had, and hopefully is going to have in 2015 and into the future.
I think we're looking good, boys.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great year.
Yeah,
it was a terrific year for us in Dillon. It'd be awesome to be able to replicate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or step it up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So, so North Shore, a wave machine, some sort of a wave generator.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. Sure.
Why?
We have
Is
to
it in
win
the
a lot
budget?
of days.
Capital improvement.
There's got to be some money around there
with
somewhere.
Denver Water. It's another partnership.
Yeah.
So it has been a great year. Just remember, first and third Tuesdays of every month, Town Council meets at Dillon Town Hall, 275 Lake Dillon Drive. Those meetings are open to the public. You can always jump on townofdillon.com to get the agendas, the minutes, the future agendas, when we are having public hearings, all that fun stuff. I also try to get it up on all of our social media as well.
Absolutely.
So get out there, come see us, come shake the mayor's hand.
Fist bumps.
Or you could do one of those things.
Kiss a baby.
That's, I don't take it personally. It's a funny enough move that
it's happened enough.
Yeah, that's.
I only say it because I'm right there with you. So, so I've been hosting this TV show. This is the last time of the year. So, I think I heard a petition is going around to get Matt off of TV.
No, that's...
you found the petition, have you?
Oh, really?
That's not true as far as we know.
Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. It's been fun from this end. I think we always laugh, so that seems like a good thing.
No, you've been you've been a fantastic host, Matt, and I know certainly on my end I appreciate having someone who can help facilitate good, fun conversations. Hopefully the viewers enjoy that as well.
A lot of information to get out there, and it's a lot of important information. But we should enjoy. I mean, we're pretty fortunate. Look where we live.
Yeah, it ain't so bad.
It ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. So, well, hey guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great holiday season.
Right on.
Bye bye.